Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We're going to do a quick unboxing here of Space Empires 4X from GMT. Just grabbed this. We look at the back of the box. Looks like there's a mounted map, 4 counter sheets, a pad of player aids, some other stuff. 1 to 6 ships or squadrons is the units. 1 to 4 players is what I was looking for. Doesn't give us a time, but we'll get that figured out at some point. So let's break shrink on this. Let's see what we have. So, very sharp looking box, I have to say. This is the second printing, which I believe is now out of print, but box is nice and tight. Oh, look at this. Strategy first. A flyer. See, 50% on any game of your choice. Huh, that sounds attractive. Well, let's file that away for later. We get the standard GMT baggies, which I'm not an enormous fan of for counter storage. But we'll file those away for later. We have a rule book. Looks like it is full color. Looks like it's a matte finish paper. I prefer a matte finish paper, no glare. This is 16 pages. Looks like 2 pages in the back are optional rules. So I believe that the designer has said on this, I might be misremembering this, that this is a sort of an answer to the classic game Stellar Conquest, which was produced back in the day by somebody and then re-released by Avalon Hill. I had the Avalon Hill version. I loved that game. It was one of those games that I liked, but none of my friends really did. This is the scenario book. It's also 16 pages. Looks like we've got some record sheets on the back. Some more record sheets. So we have some scenarios in here. Let's see. We have a 1-player, 2-player. Well, we have multiple 2-player, 3-player, 4-player scenarios. There's an epic scenario for 2 to 8 players. And then there are some solo scenarios. And I believe this is a high solitaire suitability game. Which is another reason why I thought it was fairly attractive. We have a technology sheet here. This is a whole pad of them. Empire's production sheet. I remember this from Stellar Conquest. I think one of the things that scared people off of Stellar Conquest was the amount of bookkeeping that you had to do. It didn't bother me in any way. You did kind of have to learn a certain notation to play it. So this is a player's reference card. Different info on the front and back. And it looks like there's 4 of these. So we have extra spare counters. I don't know what these number counters are, but we have alien ships down here. And then I think we have counter sheet 1. So are there actually 5 counter sheets or 4.5 counter sheets? Kind of looks like it. Yep, does kind of look like it. So there's 4.5 counter sheets in here, including more of these numbers and more alien ships maybe? Yep, more alien ships. So don't know. These are the thicker brown core GMT counters, which I like. These are probably the tiles you turn over when you explore a territory. And then we've got 2 counter sheets, which are the forces for the 4 factions. How I'm going to store this, I have the vaguest idea. I think that's something we'll figure out. We get some dice here. Looks like we have 4 10-sided dice and a glorious mounted map, which I will try and spread out for you here. Let's put this over here for now. Now, I think everybody pretty much agrees that mounted maps are just cooler than the old paper maps. However, something I have noticed with GMT's mounted maps in particular is that they tend to buckle like this at first. Now, you can just lay this out on a table, set some games on it, and let it sit probably for a day or 2, and I'm sure it would be fine. You can also try to bend the boards backwards a little bit to get them to lay flat. However, the last game I did that with was Here I Stand, and I broke the board in 2. So my next video may be a how to repair your Here I Stand board video. So, that aside, sharp looking, these colored outlined areas are the starting areas for the 4-player game, and then the 3-player game, you have these sort of gray dashed lines, significantly harder to see, which is a little bit irritating. And you have an economic phase sequence over here, not sure if you can see that, and a turn track. I'm sure the game plays in more than 3 turns, though, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't. Don't know what the playtime is on this. It's something I've been looking at and have been very interested in for some time, so I cannot wait to get this thing looked at and on the table. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. Check out the channel. We got a bunch of other wargaming videos and some other stuff, lots of video game stuff. I'm starting to get away from that, however, and doing more board game videos. So keep an eye out. There'll be more board and wargame stuff coming soon.